I went from looking like this to this, all because I started focusing on one lifestyle change. Let's talk about some more. What's going on? Pro Physique Coach Ben Berluti here, and today I want to tell you guys one big tip, one important tip, one lifestyle adjustment I made that helped me lose and keep off 40 pounds. Prior to embarking on my weight loss journey, I ate whenever I wanted. I ate whatever I wanted. I didn't take an account or really think about what I was putting into my body. When I was hungry, I would eat something. If I was out somewhere and it was time for lunch or dinner, I would just order something. I had been lifting for years and I had a good amount of muscle mass, but when I looked in the mirror, the results didn't reflect on my outward physique. Basically, I wasn't as lean as I wanted to be. Personally, my goal was to be strong and lean, and I was only halfway there. Since my daily caloric intake is the main determinant of how successful I would be in my fat loss journey, I decided I would have to learn some more about nutrition. I knew that if I wanted to lose some body fat, I would have to start paying attention to what I was putting into my body every single day. So I started tracking my intake. I downloaded a free macronutrient tracking app. I used and still currently use MyFitnessPal, and I got a good rough idea of what my daily caloric intake was. I realized I was going out to eat a lot more than I initially thought. I realized I was snacking a lot more than I previously thought. And when I was having those snacks, even just my regular meals, they were often with some highly caloric foods, which add up. Those calories add up at the end of the day. So that helped me determine what my intake was and also roughly what my maintenance would be. I knew that in order to lose body fat, I would have to be in a calorie deficit, eating less than what it took for me to maintain my weight every day. So I decided I would start preparing one meal of my day. The other three, and I determined that I would have 4 meals a day, eliminate snacking, but prepare one of them that I would track on my macronutrient tracking app, okay? This way, it wouldn't be super overwhelming right off the jump. I told myself, okay, I'm gonna prepare every breakfast I have. I'm gonna have 4 meals today. I had always been having a protein shake after I'd worked out. I mean, I've been doing that for years up to that point. So that wasn't much of an adjustment. That was 2 meals taken care of, right? And then I would have lunch and dinner. Fit my routine and schedule very well. So I started preparing that first meal of the day. I wanted it to be high in protein. I wanted it to be moderate in carbs, lower in fat. And the way I determined this was tracking it. And I put this meal together with single ingredient foods. I often will have an omelet with egg whites, a whole egg or 2, and a bowl of oatmeal. So I used a food scale. I weighed out the portion sizes that I wanted for this meal. Pretty soon, this became a habit. It was my routine. I did it every morning. It wasn't very hard to do. So I decided, hey, if that wasn't that hard and I'm doing it anyway as part of my daily routine, let me start tracking lunch, that second meal I have. I started doing that. And then before you knew it, I was tracking that protein shake post-workout, which was literally just water, protein powder. Sometimes I would put some fruit in there, so it was easy enough to track. And then I started tracking my dinner. And I noticed that when I was just tracking my breakfast, I was starting to see body fat drop, some improvements in my measurements week by week. But when I started tracking all 4 of the meals, the progress was crazy. I was noticing several pounds dropped each week. Every single week, I would take some pictures and look in the mirror and I would see improvements. There was an improvement in my waist measurement. And why was this going in this almost linear fashion? Well, it was because I was very consistent with what I was doing. I was consistent with my calorie intake, staying in a calorie deficit. I stopped snacking. I stopped going out to eat the vast majority of the time. The exceptions I worked in would be like a birthday, a family event, the Super Bowl, something like that. And then the next meal, I would just get right back on my predetermined plan. Before you knew it, I was down 40 pounds. So as you can see, I've been able to adopt that lifestyle of tracking my intake. And there are some days where I currently do not track my intake anymore because once you lose the weight, it's much easier to keep it off. I just focus on using the principles of healthy nutrition as I go about structuring my meals. So for example, If I want a high protein meal, well, I'm not going to have a cut of meat that is high in protein and fat. I would have something that's a lean option, a single ingredient protein source, such as chicken breast. Minimal calories from fat, a lot of calories from protein. Let's say I had 8 ounces or something, or 8-ish ounces. I'll go, okay, this portion is this big. That's about 8 ounces, right? Gets the job done. Then I'll pair it with a carbohydrate that is a single ingredient source, like a potato or a rice or even bread. And then I'll add a fibrous veggie or fruit to the meal, add a condiment that is lower in calories to make my food taste delicious, and I have a meal that's going to fuel my performance and also keep me in alignment with my personal fitness goals. I don't have dessert at night. If I'm watching a football game, I'm just going to watch a football game. Or if I'm craving some wings because I see 47 commercials for it, I will fire up my air fryer and I will bread some chicken breast with panko seasonings and put some light ranch on there or something. The idea is that I want to get across in that example is that I made some substitutions. I had already taught myself what a single ingredient protein, carbohydrate, and fat source actually was. I had structure in my days where I was having 4 meals throughout the day. I was not snacking anymore. There's structure. There's now an environment right for success, if you will. And it's been easy for me to keep the weight off, stay in shape year round. And I wanted to share that with you guys. Are you looking to work with a coach to design for you a personalized plan to help you along the way in your fitness journey? I'm taking on clients currently. I would be happy to set up a no-cost consultation to discuss this process some more with you. Send me a message at ben@prophysique.com and we can set up a time best for you to talk about your situation and your goals some more. Take care.